We now bring to you a very special address on taking the technologies from lab to land, IT for masses, all this and more, as I'm being joined by Shri Abhishek Singh, IAS President and CEO, National E-Governance Division, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, sharing with us all the views, programs and initiative he along with his department are taking. Very warm welcome, sir. It's indeed a pleasure having you here with us.
Yeah, thank you, Isha, and it's my pleasure to be addressing on the Economic Times Summit on taking technologies from lab to market at the Economic Times the Cloud Strategy Summit. I'm sure we have had speakers since morning who have dwelt on the subject with regard to how technology is changing lives. And when we look at the subject lab to market, and especially in the context of technologies, in the context of digital technologies, what we have observed in the last few years is that digital technologies are creating an impact in almost every sphere of our lives. Especially during the pandemic, as we started with it, we realized that the time that organizations, companies, governments took for digital transformation, the digital transformation had not happened faster than what happened in the last 1 year. The speed at which schools adopted to online learning, teachers adopted to online tools, healthcare professionals adopted to telemedicine solutions, and governments adopted to working in electronic mode, using video conferencing, using email solutions, and using collaborative tools. It has been like a phenomenal year as far as digital transformation is concerned in the last 1 year. So when we do that, when we look at technologies, the single most question comes to one's mind is that what are the technologies that can make lives of citizens better, whether they access public services, whether they access business services. And when we do that, we kind of look into the entire domain in which startups are functioning today, in which simple technologies are affecting lives like never before. In India, we have had a long history of digital governance, and the kind of projects that have been taken up in the last few years has kind of positioned us ideally suited to take the next generation of digital services to the citizens, and the building blocks which were set up in the form of, say, the unique identification number, which ensures that every citizen has a unique ID, and then we have the unified payment interface, which ensures that digital payment, digital transactions are possible. Then we have initiatives like DigiLocker, which allows electronic storage and access and verification of digital documents. So with these basic building blocks, today we are in a position to offer services, value-added services, which leverage the emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain, IoT, AR, VR, to ensure that citizens get real convenience in accessing services. And how this is done is that very often we are seeing various state governments and various government departments building solutions on top of these applications to offer seamless access to services. So when we look at, for example, healthcare services, the biggest reform that has happened in the last 1 year is the National Digital Health Mission, which allows building up a health stack on top of the India stack, and that gives everyone, whether there are entities, the private sector or public sector, to offer digital health services on top of the health stack that has been built up. So what the National Digital Health Mission has done is that they have come up with the National Digital Health Blueprint, and based on that, the sandbox for the National Digital Health Mission has been built, and that allows API level access to, say, basic data like the hospital registries, health facility registries, doctor registries. And today it's possible for anyone who has the capability of building a digital solution to build on top of that by using open APIs and by using open architecture. So in the next few months and years, what we'll see is that we'll see the incubation of many health startups who will build solutions on top of that. Government has already come up with the first of such solution, which is the eSanjeevani app, which is a mobile-based online telemedicine tool. And it allows people to access doctors in 31 states. It's already live in 31 states, and it was launched only a few months back. And in no time, it has kind of done more than 3 million consultations. So it's like transforming the way citizens are accessing healthcare services. And once this basic building block and the basic policy framework for telemedicine solutions is enabled, then on top of it, we have companies and we have startups who are building e-pharmacy solutions, so that not only health consultancy is offered digitally, but it also allows ones to access medicines and diagnosis tests through an electronic platform. So this ensures ubiquitous access and democratizes access to healthcare in a big manner. And so these are concepts that were being talked about till some time back, but now they have become the reality. And that's where when we see that the true power of IT will be unleashed, when we have such tools, such solutions transforming healthcare and ensuring that each and every person gets access to them. Similar effort is ongoing in the Department of Agriculture, wherein all the agriculture digital solutions, whether it's the soil health card or whether it's the data with regard to land records that people have, or the data that's coming from weather advisory that have, they are being collated together, and there are solutions which are being built to offer customized agri advisories to farmers, which will give data-based advisories with regard to when to sow a crop, what crop to sow, depending on weather data, soil health card data, and data with regard to with regard to the crop history of a particular land, and that allows farmers to save on input costs. And again, when they are harvesting the crop, they will get information with regard to mandi prices through the eNAM solution, and ensure that agriculture services are offered in an integrated approach. So both healthcare and agriculture, what they've shown is that the effort is now to move on to a platform-based architecture in which all services related to a particular department are offered in an integrated manner. Data sharing is happening between various verticals, like data from soil health card is woven with the data from weather from IMD which comes in, and based on that customized advisories are given. So integrated services are becoming possible, and that is what is adding value to the citizens. When we look at the education sector, the initiative that has been taken up in the form of the National Academic Depository. What the National Academic Depository does is that it provides citizens access to their academic documents at a common repository in the form of the DigiLocker, which has done. So the National Academic Depository has been built as part of the DigiLocker, and earlier we had only access to the certificates of class 10th and 12th which are available in the DigiLocker, wherein a student had access to his own credentials, his own transcripts, and along with that, even if he wanted any verifier or any requester to have access to his academic credentials, he had the authority to give them the access with his consent. So this was beautifully utilized last year again when the Delhi University was doing their admissions, and they wanted to verify the academic results of those who were seeking admission, their class 12th marks. And because the pandemic, students were not able to go to the colleges to submit their notarized or certified copies, true copies of their mark sheets and their certificates. So what was done was that the DigiLocker interface was used, and Delhi University was able to electronically verify the academic credentials of class 12th students, and more than 100,000 students got access to that. So that really transformed the way we were handling verification of certificates. Similarly, the Karnataka police also, for their recruitments, they used the DigiLocker certificate verification service, and they were able to do recruitments without asking for academic certificates in paper form. So this saved their recruitment cycle they saved almost 6 months from the recruitment cycle. And now the DigiLocker is being upgraded to build in the National Academic Depository for higher education certificates also. So now, apart from 10th and 12th, we'll also have the graduation, the post-graduation, the engineering, the medicine, the law. All these academic certificates will also become the part of the DigiLocker. Already we have onboarded almost 600 universities, and over a period of time, this will become a seamless service which anyone and everyone can use, whether it's higher education institutions or whether it's private sector or government company or government organizations who are looking to hire people and they need to verify their academic credentials. Now the government has also taken a decision to bring in all such documents onto the DigiLocker. So whether it's caste certificates, birth certificates, death certificates, all of it can be verified through this DigiLocker's verification service. And as the new education policy has also mentioned something like a National Academic Bank of Credits. So that facility is also being built up. So built up as part of the National Academic Depository, which would allow students to migrate from one college to another institution by carrying forward their degrees. So this is again a project which has been taken up, developed, incubated, and kind of taken up to scale. So that's where we are with regard to education services, healthcare services, agriculture services, and the other big piece that is coming in. like how do we kind of with the expansion of digital data that is available and the reduction in the cost of computing that is available, how do we leverage emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and blockchain into the various scheme of things that we are working on. So artificial intelligence, Government of India has notified its strategy for artificial intelligence, and the AI for all strategy has been done, under which a lot of emphasis has been given on supporting research in academic institutions, and the researchers are building their AI based models based on the data that is available, and then these models are tested in real life situations, and then full-fledged products are being designed. So whether we look at healthcare, wherein breast cancer scanning systems have been developed, or diabetic retinopathy systems have been developed, or in agriculture, plant disease detection systems have been developed, or railways are trying with the smart signaling systems, or Ministry of Road Transport and Highways and the smart cities is experimenting with smart mobility services in detecting financial frauds. Department of Financial Services is looking at analysis of data using artificial intelligence to detect financial frauds. The natural language processing is being developed at the various institutions like IIIT Hyderabad, like IIT Patna, whatever research is going on. So what it allows is that whatever research brings in certain concepts, these concepts are then tested for a proof of at a pilot basis, and then they are upscaled to offer full-blown services in an integrated manner.